Welcome back to another episode on Rotten Block. Now, I am currently in the process of moving all of my villagers over to the industrial district, which I have terraformed and built a platform for all the farms we will be building this episode. But for now, we will be leaving our villagers here in the nether until we get something built in the overworld for them. So here is the platform that we will be building our farms on later in a little bit. I've got the shulker here, and I still got some stuff to clean up. And there's the little witch cat, the witch cat, the witch's cat. Yeah. So I had to build the platform at at sea level because the witch hut here, it's basically just sitting one block above the ocean. Yeah, which wasn't great. And now, how do I get out? Can I do this? There we go. Yeah, we'll be building a witch farm. I have plans for an iron farm, probably a moss farm, and I think yeah, the shulker. We're going to be building the shulker farm because I know people are wanting shulkers already, so we need to get our farms built. But for now, I think we're going to go hang out with some people and maybe have some fun. Are we ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So do you have a goal here?
A goal?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh god. Oh, I'm placing string. Oh no.
I'm back.
I got the
kind
guy.
of. I'm down.
Well, this is going great.
Pick up the stuff.
Oh god. I found my boots. Is that it? Just those
There's
guys?
some few spiders up here. Oh. Alright, we got a few keys here.
Cool. I think I saw a vault. Yeah, up there.
Might have gotten this one. I did this one room and then got scared. oh.
I don't even know what I got. That was just junk. Alright, that was fun. We will have to go back later on at some point and try to get the heavy core. But for now, we are going to be building some farms. So we have the iron farm that's going to go over here. We have the witch farm, a shulker farm, and a bamboo farm. A bone meal farm is going to go over here at some point. We just don't have the redstone to do that. So once we get the witch farm going, we should definitely be able to get the bone meal farm set up. Yeah, so I've already put together some mobs that we are going to need for like the iron farm and the shulker farm. So like the pillagers over there for the iron farm, we're going to be using them instead of the zombies. The shulker's just hidden over there. But one mob, or a couple mobs that we need to go get are some vindicators, because we are going to be using peer pressure for our witch farm. So raids aren't something I do often, and I'm a little nervous. But our goal here is to capture 2 Vindicator raid captains and then name them Johnny. Yeah, that's what we gotta do. Oh man. All right. I think we're ready. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. Oh, does this work? Do I need something here, like a bell? Okay. I guess I wasn't ready. Oh no, we got the raid. Okay, it's starting. The raid is starting. Oh, he's running. All right. What do I do? What do I want to do here? I mean, this is probably going to be pretty uneventful. That's okay. It doesn't need to be eventful. That's a pig. Kind of want to build scaffolding. I want to go up. Where are they? Oh, they're on the other side. Ooh, that guy's... We need that guy. Right over there. Get in the boat. There we go. Alright. So I guess we actually need to do a couple raids. It actually might take longer than I thought it was going to. Just let the golem deal with them. But we probably do want to try to get the Vindicator out of there. Come here, Vindy. Do it. Alright. Nice. Well, that was easy. I thought that was going to be a lot harder. Well, that was pretty uneventful, but I did get these guys over here, and I've covered them up in glass because we are going to be building the shulker farm pretty soon. And as I'm moving that guy over here, I don't want these guys aggroing on the shulker. But I think what I'm going to do here is build the shulker farm and the bamboo farm first. That way I can start producing shulker shells before I get the other farms built. And the bamboo farm over here, I have it set up so that it's crafting planks, storing them in shulker boxes, and storing them away into chests here. But over here, I have these 3 modules set up to craft chests. That way we have the chests and the shulker shells just readily available whenever we need the boxes. So what I think I'm gonna do now is just kind of step into a time lapse, get everything built, and we should be good to go. Yeah. Oh no. That's well, welcome back. We built the farms. They're all done. And as you can see, we had to move the shulker farm way up into the sky. Yeah, so after building the shulker farm down here, I think it was just too low. We had the shulkers kind of teleporting outside the bounds of the farm, and even after spawn proofing the area around here, they were still like, I don't know, like teleporting further and further away from the spawn proofed area. It got to a point where it was overlapping with the farm here, so I decided to just dismantle the current or the previous farm, and I just moved it way, way, way up there. And so I have the shells just falling through the sky, and yeah, we've been doing a pretty good job. This farm produces between like 900 and 1100 shells per hour, just depends if you're up there as well, AFK. It does a pretty good job AFKing up there as well, because we have the witch farm here, and it overlaps, so yeah, when I'm up there, we're also farming witches, and this has been doing a pretty good job. I haven't really had to modify this, and I would recommend using this mechanic early on if you don't have a lot of redstone. And yeah, I did actually, I lost the shulker worth of redstone block, but we're doing pretty good. We're kind of recovering from that. Let's put that back. I'm basically packaging all the goods into shulker boxes, and then we'll be storing them in these barrels here. The only thing I'm not storing in a shulker are these sticks. I figured might be nice to have sticks here to make torches and, you know, whatever else we need sticks for. And something else that's a little bit different than the time lapse, I've modified the bamboo farm here. So instead of just having 2 of these dedicated to making planks, I'm now dedicating everything to crafting chests. We've also expanded the farm, so now it's overhanging over the ocean, but that's okay. We should be producing quite a bit of chests. I think I might, yeah, I might try to expand the farm even more. And then the iron farm. So I ended up using the gas to build this, which was actually pretty handy. On Rotten Block, we are using a data pack called Swift Flight, which is also made by Jodic. Yeah. But basically, it's an enchanted book that you can find in the end cities, and I've got a Swift Sneak 3 or a Swift Flight 3 on my ghast. And so building this didn't take too long. What really, the tedious part was getting all the villagers up into their little chambers. But yeah, I only lost 1 villager, so it went pretty good. But yeah, in testing, I believe this farm produces about 4,000 iron per hour. And it's been doing a pretty good job. Yeah, tons and tons of iron block. I think I have over a shulker at this point. But the reason I wanted to build an iron farm this big is because I am going to be using iron to get my emeralds. We're not building a raid farm, so I figured this would be a pretty good source of emeralds. And since building the shulker farm, I have opened up a little pop-up shop. It doesn't look like we've made any, maybe one sale. We haven't made any more, but we are selling 1 stack of shells for 3 diamonds, which is cheaper than we were doing last season. I think we were doing a diamond per 16. And so this is just a little bit cheaper than that. So now that we have plenty of shells, I think it's time we start cleaning up this chest monster, but I don't really want to start organizing things away into shulker boxes until I figure out where we're going to store things over there at the base. And before we get working on the interior to the base, I figured we could put together a little sketch here. So this is what I think the interior should look like. We have some storage over here in the corner. We have our bed over here with like a tarp over it, because maybe rain is leaking through the roof or something, and we want to make sure that we stay dry. So we got like a tarp over here, and we have a tarp over here over the crates, and then we have some spare storage on this loft over here. We have a loft up here with like a work area, and then maybe a ladder up to the roof. And since this is like a 12th century church that we are trying to survive in, it's got some like debris and grass growing out of the floor, trash. It's just super cluttered and stuff. And yeah, I think this is like a really good idea of what I want things to look like. So I've got quite a few materials here that I put together, kind of just looking at the concept and just pulling blocks out, like the paintings, maybe some banners with the wool. I got wool somewhere. And yeah, we just have some utility blocks that we might be able to use as detail. I think before we get the other elements in, I think we need to figure out where the storage is going to go. Probably wanted to go over as far as we can. Maybe go to... Might be good. Maybe one more. Okay. It's definitely not going to be enough space for everything that we want to store away, so we might need a little bit more storage on this side too. And we're going to do the same thing. Alright, that might be good. So something else that we have to keep in mind with this storage is this. This isn't going to be our permanent storage. This is only a temporary storage until I can level up and, like, start doing some pretty cool storage stuff. But this is all going to be manual, so we don't need it to be a permanent solution. It just needs to look nice and organized. Yeah, we could maybe do something like a little inset here. I'm thinking we could put a podium or like the lectern over here, and then maybe a ladder that goes up this way, and then we can pop back out through the wall up to the loft, or the couple, or the 2 different lofts that we have. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. I tried to get it to like sag a little bit right here at the end. It's a little bit different than the one over here, but I think that's looking good. Alright, well, let's make our way into the base here. You can see I've cluttered up the entryway a little bit more. And here in the main room, yeah, it's looking pretty good. I think there's still some texturing I need to do along the walls. And as you can see, the ceiling isn't done. I wasn't sure if this is really what I want to do with the ceiling, so I've kind of left it open at the moment. But we'll be coming back to that at some point later on. But yeah, the room, it's looking pretty good. It feels really spacious, which I was kind of surprised about. But I think we did a pretty good job using our reference image to make this room. It basically looks like what we drew. But yeah, these little bits of debris that I have on the ground, they are breaking up the room into little sections. So we have some barrels here, and some barrels over here that we will be using for like unstackables, things that we don't want to store here in like the bulk sections. So boats, minecarts, shulker boxes, beds, whatever. And over here in this section, we have like a broom closet, where we're using like the armor poser mod to make like a broom. We also have a data pack on the server that allows us to use the stone cutter to make mini blocks. So this is actually a cauldron being used as a bucket. This area is meant to be used as like an AFK room, you know, if I ever need to use it for that. And then over here is our little bedroom. I decided to raise it 1 block off the ground because, you know, I kind of set the precedent that it could flood down here. So raising the bed off the ground, probably a good idea. And then we have our podium with a lectern that I might put a book in at some point. We'll see. But I've kind of imagined this opening here to be like an old closet that we've repurposed and added a ladder. It goes to the top here. And we have the 2 lofts, so we have some extra storage up here, mostly decorational, you know, to look good from down there. And then up here is kind of our work area. So we've got the computer. It's looking pretty good. We have a brewing stand if we need to make potions. We have some workstations over here. We also have this ladder back here that's supposed to go up to the roof. But since the ceiling isn't done yet, I don't quite know what to do with this yet. So once we get the ceiling done, we'll figure out what to do with the roof. So yeah, I think we're ready to start using the base here so we can start moving our stuff into storage. And yeah. Well, the episode is late and I still have stuff to do, so we're going to keep working. So the plan here is to start working on the terrain. I have some stuff kind of designed and we just need to put materials together and I need to figure out where the terrain's going to go. I do want to close off the floating platform. I want this to no longer be floating. And we need to get some terrain back behind the building here. That way it doesn't look so flat and ugly. But before we start working on the terrain, I do want to figure out the road, the shape of the road that's going to go through the valley here. That'll kind of dictate how the terrain comes off of the platform here. So I need to go through and figure out where this road is going to go. And we're going to go into free cam just so I can check out the shape of this. And I think, yeah, it's nice and smooth. It's not like too straight in any section. That does feel like a nice curve to it. Yeah. But I also want the road to kind of dip down further than I have it here. So I want like walls, a wall of terrain to go up on either side of the road. So I want it to dip down just a little bit more than it is currently. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do now is maybe take this terrain and just kind of get rid of it up to a certain point, maybe around here. I think would be good. Yeah, probably all right. And I basically want it to be flat. That way we can just come in with some walls. I do need to empty my inventory. But we will be adding our own shape to the area with our own terrain. So we don't need any of this dirt and grass here. Alright, so I think the next important thing we need to start doing is shaping out kind of this top layer. That way we know kind of where the walls go for the pathway there. So I think we went out to about here. Probably good, but the walls are actually going to be further this way. And that'll give us plenty of space around the base here to also do maybe some stuff outside. Well, I just realized I wasn't recording any of my gameplay, but we have finished up with the terrain here. It's looking pretty good. So as the road opens up here, we start to kind of bend this terrain around, and yeah, it's nice. Nice. Nice, yeah. But we'll take a walk through here. It's feeling good. And I actually started working on the terrain, and then I realized I wasn't recording anything. So what we are doing is working on this little section of the road, just trying to get a little bit of that top portion of the terrain in place. And yeah, so far it's looking pretty good. It's pretty similar to what I came up with in creative. It's maybe a little bit more compact than what I intended, but I think it's still looking pretty good. I may try to expand it, kind of stretch it out a little bit more later on when we are working on more terrain. But yeah, what we are going to start working on now is getting the wall in place and maybe working on a little bit of this road. All right, well, the first section of the terrain is done with this wall here, and I'm not sure what I was really trying to go for, but I just kept in mind I want this area to be dry, the entire base. It's gonna look dry, so we needed to incorporate like these muted yellows with the wheat and the dry grass, and we're using a lot of the packed mud, and we're trying to get some of this mushroom block in as well. And for our road, we have coarse dirt, and I do want to mix in some of the rooted dirt. We just don't have a lot of that at the moment. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. We're using so much mud, and I think I'm gonna need a wheat farm. The mud's not hard to get, but the wheat definitely need a farm for that. But I think this is where we're gonna wrap it up for this episode. I am going to continue working on this over the next few hours, maybe the next day. But I do just want to remind you guys that I have a Discord server that you guys can join, and links will be in the description, or you can find it on my profile page. And I know this episode's coming out a little later than I anticipated, and that's just because I'm still trying to balance like a schedule and maybe the scale, the scale of my tasks and stuff. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See ya!